This did not age well. Before kickoff, City fans, they threw the first punch with this Tifo, making a dig at Vini Jr. for his Ballon d'Or snub, and the added drama around it with Real Madrid deciding not to show up to the ceremony. Stop crying your heart out, they say. And then Rodri, the Ballon d'Or winner in the crowd, he went from taking pics at the Super Bowl to taking pics of this Tifo right here. And then you have Vini holding the Man of the Match trophy. So who got the last laugh? No Ballon d'Or, but probably felt close to it yesterday. Let's do some player ratings for the guys in this game yesterday between Real Madrid and Manchester City, starting with Vini Jr., Man of the Match. What's our rating for him, guys?
8.
8.5 for me.
Solid 8.5, without a doubt.
Well, what did Vini Jr. have to say about the Tifo that he was the feature of yesterday? Take a listen to his comments post-match.
Siempre que los aficionados ao contrário hacen cosas, ellos me dão uma força para hacer un gran partido y aquí he hecho otra vez un gran partido, hemos podido ganar.
Yeah, I mean, he was cooking with gasoline yesterday, man. He was incredible, especially that second half. Look, I think in the end he cares, but he doesn't care. Like, it doesn't matter now. You know, I think you get over that stuff, you get away. You know, it's so far behind you. He's worried about winning Champions
Do you think
League.
there's any part of the Man City fans that are, or of the players that are upset with the fans for doing that?
It doesn't make sense. You're taunting the current holders of the Champions League title, and you're not even able to defend your stance on the field. It's like you're offering motivation for arguably one of the best players, if not the best player in the world, right? A guy that was up there for the best player in the world, to just ball?
Yeah.
Because you know the fans, nor Rodri can come onto the field and try to counteract Vinicius. Vinicius is going to do his thing, and he must have seen that and been like, "Oh, that's how we're going to do this thing."
Yeah.
All right, and he was nonchalant about it afterwards. Like, yeah, sure, it served as motivation. You think Vini's losing sleep over that? It's just it didn't make, like, sure you can have it, but it just didn't make sense.
The stupidity of it is that of all the qualities that we see in Vinicius Jr., he feeds off of that.
Jude Bellingham, who had a big game in the match winner. Lahoud?
Look, I give him an 8 as well. Because of the commitment to playing on both sides of the ball, to get the match-winning moment, to have that extra gusto, and I mean, this is a guy that covers every blade of grass. And look, that posture right there, he's got the clutch gene for the biggest club in the world, and time again at this club in the last 1.5 seasons, he has been, alongside Vini, the big difference. And you can say, he just arrives right place at the right time, but I was really happy for him to have that definitive moment. And if you're asking what the hell my number was, I say a solid 8. That was someone.
What do these guys got to do to get a 10 around here? Tony, anybody?
No, 10s are hard to come by, Aly. There's not a lot of 10s. I'm 8.5 again. I thought he was outstanding. Of course, just the busting of the run in the end to get in front of Stones and to finish. 8.5 for me. He was really good.
Nico?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I think the best player, the most definitive player, was Vinicius. I don't think I'm going to give anybody higher than an 8. If he doesn't score that goal, I'd be sitting at a 5-6. He gets the goal. He does have that clutch gene, and that's invaluable. Bellingham, he's insisting.
5-6 if he doesn't score a goal?
Are we talking about Mendy or Jude?
No, 6 if he doesn't score. Everybody else, and nobody at Manchester City except for like Haaland was above a 4, right? Like, he was good. And I think if we're talking 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10, you're putting the team on your back. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that Nico wasn't grading my papers in college. I'll say that much. What do we think about Kylian Mbappé, Tone?
I went 7. I think 7.5. I think he's just influential in the game. I mean, you're just always worried about what he's doing. And I think the movement between him and Vini Jr. is clearly getting better, right? And it makes it so difficult, even when you're not completely involved in every single play, it makes it so difficult for defenses to organize.
Mike?
Yeah, I'm with you, Tone. I give him a 7, and it would have been a 9 had he finished so many more of his chances. His movement, City didn't have an answer for, and I just think about how he's growing in that number 9 position, a position that's not natural to him. To go back and wind back the clock and get a goal in a stadium where you get your first championship or Champions League goal, there's a bit of nostalgia there, and as this guy goes in terms of unbalancing back lines with his movement, his technical ability, this team will continue to go. And I just love that him, Vini on the left now, not as his next center forward, but Vini on the left and Jude centrally, Rodrigo on the right. That was the best performance I've seen from all four of them with him spearheading it.
Nico, what grade would you give, and would you agree with Lahoud's statement? Was this the best performance?
Sure, but ultimately it can be even so much better. They can tear teams apart, and to be honest, they haven't really torn teams apart. This was a classic Real Madrid Champions League win. It was the only big team that they've beat this season. Who else have they beat? They lost to Milan, they lost to Barcelona twice handedly.
Yeah, I got smacked.
They needed this front three, the front four, and to have, I don't know if it was a comprehensive performance. Mbappe's goal was a little bit ugly. He missed a lot of chances. Like, it doesn't matter if the goal's ugly or not. It was a goal, and I'm going to give him a 7 based off of that, because it could have been a 9. How many opportunities did he have? And you can sense that this team, especially with a trio or the quartet, they're always onto something. But it's never like a complete masterclass from the four. Yet, if you watch Mbappe without the ball, he has such a fabulous quality of being able to lose his marker so quickly. John Stones, within a second, his explosion and his change of pace. Oh, almost knocked away. His change of pace with a couple of steps, and the dynamism to lose your markers. It's incredible. It's begging for him to be played into space, for him to go one way and then explode the other way and play him into space. That's what Nigel was telling me off air, and I thought he was talking a lot of sense that. They don't play him into space as much. It could be even more vertical. And that's why I'm saying it's not there yet. Like, I want to see, like, Mbappe wreaking havoc. He has moments, but this front four could tear teams to pieces, and they just don't yet.
All his chances came from him getting played in the space. So this was the first match that really saw that difference. And you look at the Atleti match, his movement, he built in confidence from some of the run where he runs off Clement Lenglet, and he makes that running off the shoulder. So I think I agree with both of you that this is a confidence-building back-to-back performances for him to get goals, and the finishing will come when he figures out the finishing in this number 9 position consistently.
That's scary.
Well, doesn't he have like 16 or 17 goals in the league? I mean, it's not as if he's not scoring goals, right?
But he could score more.
Yeah.
A worrying trend continued for City yesterday. Pep's squad now have 25 points dropped from a leading position, which has produced 5 draws and 5 losses. City have let in 11 goals. Yeah, 11 goals in the 85th minute or later. And after yesterday, City are now tied for most losses in a single season under Pep Guardiola with 12. Here's what the manager had to say after the match.
Just speaking to John Stones there, he agrees. He can't quite believe how you've lost the game.
Not many times happened this season.
Yes, it has. It's not the first time.
Yeah, many times happened. So I know the quality of Real Madrid. They started really well the first 10 minutes, and after we took the game, in the second half we tried to attack too quick, and when that's happened and you are not precise, they are quicker. And after, what happened? So sometimes you are not maybe the best performance that we had the last 3 seasons. It happened because they are an exceptional team, but it happened many times, so we give away what we had.
Even as analysts, if Pep doesn't know, how do we know what's going on? Because honestly,
that'll do it for us today, everybody.
We've tried for the last 2, 3, 4 months to explain what's going on. And it's something psychological that these players can't shake off. Because yes, it's Real Madrid, and we understand their aura in this competition. And Pep knows that they have this aura in this competition, that they can turn a game on its head like that. But the mistakes out of the back, the lack of adaptability, it's almost like you're blind to see a game out if you're Manchester City, in the way that they capitulated in the last 10 or 14 minutes. You would say, all right, Haaland gives them the 2-1 after scoring a brace. Great. Now it's time to adjust, make a couple of tactical movements, and have this Manchester City team go into the Bernabeu with confidence. And within 10 minutes, after putting a pretty decent performance through 80 minutes, they unraveled, like many teams unravel against Real Madrid, but it's just another episode of trauma for this Manchester City team that they are unable to shake off.
What grade would we give Haaland, Nico?
I'm trying for the loss not to condition my rating. Because what more can you ask of Haaland? He scored a brace. He put your team up in a prime position to win. Up until the 80th minute, he was at an 8, 9. I don't know. If
Erling Haaland gets the highest grade in the match?
No.
Okay.
They lost. That's why I'm trying for the condition. Like, if 8, I would probably say 8.
Yeah, I went 8.5. Look, my center forward, my striker, the guy that I'm paying millions of dollars a day to score goals. He scored 2 goals in the biggest match of the year. He was a pest. He did everything that I asked him to do if I'm the manager.
Yeah, I'm going to go 7.5.
How about Kevin De Bruyne, KDB? Contract coming up this summer. What did you think about his performance?
4.
Oof.
Yeah, non-existent. 4 is a little low. I just think if you get a 4, that's a rough day. I'm gonna a 5 for me. The rest of there's no one else over.
I want Tony Gray in my papers.
yeah. There's no one else above a 5 in this City group for me.
Wow.
Maybe Guardiola if we did him. Maybe, but they struggled in the midfield.
Okay, 4, 5, Lahoud.
I'm at a 4. Time is running out for Kevin De Bruyne, which I never thought I'd say this, but when you look at the injuries that are mounting up, he's getting older, and you have an Omar Marmoush that is waiting in the wings. And this Manchester City side and how they want to play with Erling Haaland and how they want to be direct, and they were best when they were direct, that football doesn't suit Kevin De Bruyne anymore.
Undoubtedly one of the best Premier League midfielders of all time, right? He doesn't gravitate as he did, not the season before, but the season prior when he was really like prime Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
Manchester City were all right without him when they had Julian Alvarez making those runs, unsettling, creating a lot off the ball and on the ball. Kevin De Bruyne isn't offering you that this season. He doesn't gravitate. He doesn't keep the ball. He doesn't give you that pass that breaks things up, drawing pressure. His impact, his imprint on the game is so small compared to what we've grown accustomed to seeing that I think it's a little bit sad because he is one of the greatest Premier League midfielders.
All good things come to an end. And Tony, you said you weren't going to give anybody above a 5, so what are you going to give John Stones?
Yeah, actually, I thought John Stones in the first half was good. Second half, again, they got run over in the midfield. I'm going to go 5 again. As much as I said there's not a lot of 10s in the game, there's not a lot of 4s in the game when you watch ratings, but these guys are dishing them out like crazy.
Mateo Kovacic?
Lahoud, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go 5. I actually, it was a gamble that Pep made to go 5 defenders on the field. And when Manuel Kanji got injured at halftime and Nathan Ake came off and he was forced to go back, that's when Madrid, they did get the goal, but that's when the game really changed, not having just his physical presence, his reading of the game, and his ability to just be that stopgap to give City a chance in transition. So 5.
Nico?
Yeah, 5 also.
Okay.
Once they open the door to doubt, and someone opens the door, like you mentioned, it's Guardiola. Earlier on in the season. Yesterday, it was Ederson. Ball at the top of the box. We didn't even see it in real time because they were wiping away from the replay. The director of the game was so confident that City was going to play out of the back. They were wiping out of a replay after City had regained possession, and all of a sudden they wiped out. I'm like, what's going on? Madrid is attacking, and they concede 2-2. Ederson gives the ball away from not playing out of the back, not trying to pop it over a defender or a forward to get it to his fullback. He shanked a punt. Ederson shanked a punt.
He was going for the side volley.
He was going for the side volley, but I'd expect Ederson to hit a side volley with his eyes closed 100 out of 100 balls and put it on either on a guy's chest or on a guy's foot and leave him one-on-one with the goalkeeper. You know, like that's the type of expectation that I think it's not just me. I think everybody has grown to expect from Ederson. But to make that type of mistake, he opened the door to the doubt, And when Real Madrid smells blood in the water, they're the most ravenous team in the history of football. And the thing is that Manchester City, they did this. They cut themselves and put their own bloody arm in the water. It's self-inflicted wounds that they can't get over, and it's a disaster.
A gross visual. But Tony, Ederson wasn't just criticized he was criticized on the last 2 Real Madrid goals. So what did you see on the play?
Yeah, I just want with that, to the Pep conversation, in no way, shape, or form does Pep ever think like these things are going to happen, because over and over again, you see Ederson. And then not only in the past we see a guy who makes a mistake, you'll see when we show the replays, there's plenty of time to recover from a missed punt. There's enough coverage to say, okay, we can break up the play. The only difference in this game is that you're playing Real Madrid. And in Champions League, they are ruthless. You open the door and they will run in. And that's exactly what they did. Yesterday, for me, was a microcosm of exactly who these two teams are today. A Real Madrid team who's got outstanding individuals that don't always look smooth, although yesterday was probably one of their better performances as a group. But when you open the door, they will run in. And Man City have found ways to lose time and time again this year.
Real Madrid routinely have had a mediocre season and have performed in the Champions League. So much so that they've managed to use the Champions League to turn their season around and probably end up winning the competition. City has never played this poorly. Pep Guardiola has never managed a team that's done this poorly, ever. For a lot of these guys, it's unknown territory, especially for the guy leading them. And it is shocking to see, although at this point it's expected because they've dropped so many points from winning positions. They've lost so many games when they've started out leading that we shouldn't be shocked. But because they have one of the more revolutionary, if not the most revolutionary manager in the history of football, to see him dumbfounded without an ability to respond and to fix and to correct and to iron out all of these kinks that have made City into a dull team is shocking.